Hello and welcome to today's episode. I'm really glad you're here, because today we're talking about something that almost everyone struggles with at some point in life: confidence. More specifically, what to do when you feel like you have none at all. Maybe you avoid speaking in meetings, even when you have good ideas. Maybe you feel nervous when meeting new people. Or maybe you often compare yourself to others and think, they are better than me. I'm not good enough. If this sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Confidence is not something that only a few lucky people are born with. It is not a special gift. Confidence is a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned, practiced, and improved over time. Today, I'm going to show you simple, practical ways to start building confidence, even if right now you feel insecure, shy, or unsure about yourself. Let's start with an important truth: nobody feels confident all the time. Even people who look confident on the outside often feel nervous or afraid on the inside. The difference is not that they never feel fear. The difference is that they have learned how to act even when they feel uncomfortable. So if you are waiting to feel confident before you try something new, you may end up waiting forever. Confidence often comes after action, not before it. The first step to building confidence is to change the way you talk to yourself. Many people with low confidence have a very negative inner voice. They say things to themselves like, "I'm so stupid," or "I always mess things up," or "no one will like me." Imagine if someone else spoke to you this way every day. You would probably feel terrible. But when we say these things to ourselves, we often don't even notice. Try to start paying attention to your inner voice. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, pause and ask, is this really true? Often, the answer is no. For example, if you think, "I'm bad at speaking English," you can change it to, "I'm still learning English, and I'm improving every day." This small change makes a big difference in how you feel and how you act. The second step is to start small. Many people think they need to make big, dramatic changes to become confident. They imagine giving a perfect presentation, speaking fluently in another language, or walking into a room and feeling completely relaxed. But real confidence grows step by step. Let's say you are afraid of speaking in public. Instead of starting with a big speech in front of many people, you can begin by speaking more in small, safe situations. You could share your opinion in a small group, ask a question in class, or practice speaking out loud at home. Each small success sends a message to your brain: I did it. I survived. Maybe I can do more next time. Over time, these small steps build into bigger confidence. It's like building a muscle. You don't go to the gym on your first day and lift the heaviest weight. You start with something light, and you slowly increase the difficulty. Another powerful way to build confidence is to keep promises to yourself. Confidence is not only about how you look or how you speak. It is also about trust. When you say you will do something and then you actually do it, you start to trust yourself more. For example, you might decide, "I will study English for 10 minutes every day," or "I will go for a short walk 3 times this week," or "I will apply for one job this weekend." These are small, realistic goals. When you complete them, you prove to yourself that you are someone who takes action. This creates a strong feeling of self-respect, and self-respect is a big part of confidence. Now let's talk about mistakes, because fear of mistakes is one of the biggest enemies of confidence. Many people think confident people never make mistakes. But in reality, confident people make just as many mistakes as everyone else. The difference is that they don't see mistakes as proof that they are bad or stupid. They see mistakes as information. They think, "Okay, that didn't work. What can I learn from this?" Think about a child learning to walk. They fall down again and again. But nobody says, "This child is terrible at walking. They should stop trying." We understand that falling is part of learning. As adults, we often forget this. We expect ourselves to be perfect from the beginning, and when we are not, we feel ashamed. If you want to build confidence, you need to give yourself permission to be a beginner. Being bad at something at first is normal. It is not a sign that you should stop. It is a sign that you are learning. Another helpful habit is to stop comparing yourself to others. This is especially difficult today because of social media. We see people who look successful, happy, and confident all the time. But we are usually seeing only the best moments of their lives, not their fears, failures, or boring days. When you compare your everyday life to someone else's highlight moments, you will almost always feel worse about yourself. Instead, try to compare yourself to your past self. Ask, am I a little better than I was last year? Have I learned something new? Have I survived difficult situations? This kind of comparison is much more fair and much more useful. Let's also talk about body language, because the way you use your body can change how you feel inside. When you feel insecure, you might look down, cross your arms, speak very quietly, or try to make yourself smaller. Your body is showing the world that you are not sure of yourself, and this can also send the same message back to your brain. Try to practice more open and relaxed body language. Stand or sit up straight. Look at people when they are speaking to you. Speak a little louder than you usually do. At first, this may feel strange or even uncomfortable. But after some time, it will start to feel natural, and you may notice that people react to you differently. They may listen more, respond more positively, and this will help you feel more confident. Another important part of confidence is doing things that make you feel proud of yourself. This doesn't have to be something big or impressive. It could be learning a new word in English, cooking a healthy meal, helping a friend, or finishing a task you were avoiding. When you take a moment to notice and appreciate these small achievements, you build a more positive image of yourself. Many people with low confidence focus only on what they did wrong. At the end of the day, they remember the one mistake they made, not the 10 things they did well. You can change this by creating a simple habit. Every evening, write down 3 things you did well or 3 things you are grateful for. Over time, this trains your brain to look for the positive, not only the negative. Let's also discuss the idea of stepping outside your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is the space where you feel safe and in control. There is nothing wrong with feeling safe, but if you stay only in your comfort zone, your world becomes smaller and smaller. Confidence grows when you slowly expand this zone. This does not mean you need to do something scary every day. It means you choose small challenges that are a little uncomfortable but still possible. For example, you could start a short conversation with a classmate, try a new hobby, or speak in English even if you are not sure about your grammar. Each time you survive a small challenge, your comfort zone becomes a little bigger. It is also very helpful to surround yourself with supportive people. Some people criticize, laugh, or make negative comments, and this can damage your confidence. Of course, we cannot always avoid such people, but we can choose to spend more time with those who encourage us, listen to us, and respect us. If you don't have many supportive people around you in real life, you can still find support online, in language learning communities, hobby groups, or forums where people share similar goals. Knowing that others are also learning, struggling, and improving can make you feel less alone and more motivated. Another key point is to focus on what you can control, not on what you cannot control. You cannot control other people's opinions, their moods, or their reactions. You also cannot control the past. But you can control your actions, your effort, and your attitude. When you put your energy into things you can control, you feel more powerful and less helpless, and this naturally increases your confidence. Sometimes people think that they need to feel confident before they act. But in reality, confidence often comes after you take action and see that you can handle the results. You apply for the job and survive the interview. You speak in class and realize that nobody laughs at you. You travel alone and discover that you can solve problems by yourself. These experiences become proof that you are stronger and more capable than you thought. It is also important to be patient with yourself. Building confidence is not something that happens in one day or even in 1 month. There will be good days when you feel brave and motivated, and there will be bad days when you feel insecure again. This is completely normal. Progress is rarely a straight line. It goes up and down. When you have a bad day, try not to say, "I'm back at the beginning. I've learned nothing." Instead, remind yourself that one difficult day does not erase all your progress. You are still the person who has been practicing, learning, and trying. Let me give you a simple exercise you can start today. Think about one small thing you have been avoiding because you feel insecure. Maybe it is sending a message in English, asking someone for help, or sharing your opinion. Choose something that feels uncomfortable but not impossible. Then make a clear, simple plan to do it within the next 24 hours. When you complete this action, take a moment to notice how you feel. You might still feel nervous, but you will also feel a small sense of pride. This is how confidence begins, not with a huge, dramatic change, but with many small moments of courage. As we come to the end of this episode, I want you to remember that confidence is not about becoming a completely different person. You do not need to become loud, perfect, or fearless. Confidence is about trusting that you can handle life, even when things are difficult or uncertain. You are allowed to learn slowly. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to feel nervous and still try. Every time you take a small step forward, you are building a stronger, more confident version of yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope these ideas help you see that confidence is not something you either have or don't have. It is something you build, one action, one thought, and one small success at a time.